I totally get it. It's difficult to understand where to stay in Malta. Why? Because it's a big island. My name is Stefano, and in this video I'm gonna talk about the best areas to stay in Malta. What works best for families, for the couple stay, if you want to have a crazy time partying day and night, or if you want to have a quiet time for yourself. But let's get straight into it. The first place I want to talk today is Valletta, which is the capital city of Malta. Is it a city? Well, it's the smallest capitals actually you can find in Europe, with just 6,000 people. But it's a beautiful capital because it's full of history, with buildings dating back to the 16th century. And for this reason, in 1980, UNESCO added the old Valletta into the heritage list. Absolutely fantastic. And you have so many things and so many places to visit into Valletta. It's highly suggested if you stay maybe for 2-3 days, if you have a long weekend over there. It's a short stay, you get in with the airport, you go straight away to the capital, and from there you can visit the city and you can also visit other nearby places. It's also a good choice if you don't want to rent a car, because all of the transportation system works in a bit of a hub and spoke, where the hub is the Valletta, the capital, and from there you can take buses to everywhere you want, most of the time in a direct bus, so you're gonna save plenty of time in traveling. And if you are visiting Malta during the Christmas time, Valletta is absolutely gorgeous with all of the night lights and the Christmas lights around. And then you can go for shopping in the nearby Sliema. North of Valletta you find the town of Sliema, which is the main destination for shopping. It has also a nice esplanade with restaurants and cafes and bars and pubs, especially the British style of pub. So it's a good place, to visit during the day, maybe stay for dinner, but probably I wouldn't book my accommodation there. Also, if you plan to visit Sliema by car, just be aware that parking is a little bit of a nightmare and it's also very expensive. So stay maybe in Valletta and visit Sliema during the day and the night. North of Sliema you find San Giuliano, which is about 8 to 10k north of Valletta. This is the destination #1 for nightlife, and there is an area inside San Giuliano which is called Pacerville, if I can pronounce it correctly. It's also called actually Partyville, because this is where you find plenty of nightlife, bars and clubs, and you walk into the street and there are people drinking everywhere. There is a young crowd around that wants to spend the night until the early hours of the day. It's one also the favorite spot for backpackers, especially because here you can find a few hostels at a very good price. I just want to say also that in this video I'm not going to talk about the individual hotels, it's more about the areas, but you can find into the video descriptions a few suggestions and also a link to a post that I wrote about where to stay in Malta, where you can see maps and plenty of more information that I couldn't include into this video. And once you're not into a bar, cafe or a club, then you can go maybe to play bowling, or you can go to a cinema. This is just to say how San Giuliano is big for entertainment. In San Giuliano you can also find a beach, which is a reclaimed beach with sand. It's not the best probably in Malta, you can find much better, but it's a good place to spend half a day after a long night, isn't it? Now let's move south of Valletta and we go to Birgo, which is absolutely a lovely little town but is also called actually Vittoriosa, which means the winner, because it was the only place in Malta that didn't surrender to the Great Siege of the Ottoman Empire in 1565. Birgu is the perfect spot if you want to have some quiet and romantic time, because it's really a maze of small streets with little restaurants here and there where you can have your own time without any noise around. It's absolutely incredible, that place. So Birgu is really the hot spot of Malta if you want to have a boutique stay. In the northern part of Malta Island, you find the municipality of St. Paul's Bay, and there are two towns here, Bourguiba and Aura, which may work perfectly well if you have a stay with kids, because here you find some nice resorts which works fantastically well for children with pools, playgrounds and so on and so forth. If I have to find something which probably is not great in this area, are beaches, because there are not many. In fact, there are only 3 of them and they are all reclaimed, so you have to have some sandals to get into the water. These are 2 new towns with some restaurants for families and some nice pubs, so you get a nice time there with your family. And now let's go to the northernmost part of Malta Island, where you can find the area of Melia. And also there is a nice village there which is absolutely beautiful, with probably one of the longest beaches that you can find in Malta. It's very quiet there, so I would suggest Melia if you want to have a quiet time, chill out, and it's perfect for couples, and also if you're traveling with a family and little kids that maybe want to spend more time, building castles, stay there for the swim. There is not just the main beach actually there, but there are also other beaches which are absolutely gorgeous around, and you can visit them usually with a rented car. Another area I want to talk about Malta is the area of Medina and Rabat. These are 2 towns where Rabat is more commercial, Medina is more historic center. It's one of the oldest places that you can find in Malta, dated back to 4,000 years ago. Absolutely incredible. And you find Medina inside medieval walls where not even cars can access, and for this reason has been called the Silent City. And this is an absolutely gorgeous place if you're traveling with your partner and you want to have a quiet time in a historic place. And Medina, gets busy during the day, obviously, with day tourists. But then at night it looks like everyone is disappearing and you have a town for yourself. Absolutely gorgeous, fantastic for a nice romantic time. And another thing about Medina is that it's close to some amazing beaches like Golden Beach. Unfortunately, public transportation to there is not the best, so in this case, if you stay in Medina, probably I suggest to rent a car so you can visit the rest of the island. And here I am for the last suggestion, which is the tiny island of Gozo, north of the island of Malta. You can reach Gozo with a quick ferry ride, very easy. Personally, I would suggest to go in Gozo only if you have 1 week or more in Malta. Gozo is a great place actually if you want to see Malta as it used to be many years ago. It's very quiet, don't expect much of a nightlife over there, but still you can find some nice cafes, restaurants and bars around. It's a great spot also if you are into snorkeling and diving. Here you can find probably the best locations for diving in Malta. I would suggest Gozo, for the longest stay, if you want to have a quiet time, perfect for couples, or if you want just to have an independent trip there, and also if you're traveling with a baby and you want to have just a chill out time. This pretty much closes this video. I hope I was able to give you an idea of the best areas to stay in Malta. Now, subscribe to the channel because in the next weeks I will post more videos about Malta and the best itineraries, not only where to stay but also what to do based on the number of the days you're gonna spend on the island, with a list of the things that you can do in this beautiful place. I'll see you next time. Bye!